In today's On Your Side, we're talking about account takeover scams. That's where thieves access a victim's online account, usually a bank account online, and then steal their money and their personal information. I had $6,000 stolen. I'm one of these people.
I remember that.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's
an ongoing nightmare.
A lot of times people think this just happens to like seniors or people who aren't paying attention, but it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And it can happen in minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And everything can be gone.
I'm lucky I check my account all the time, or I would have had no idea.
Yeah, it's a very scary thing. And a recent report found that 22% of U.S. adults have been victims of an account takeover scam. And that amounts to 24 million households. And the loss is in the billions. Within minutes, this Ventura County native, now serving in the military overseas, was left without a penny to his name. That name, by the way, he has asked us not to share for security reasons. It all started with a phone call from a person posing as a representative from his credit union.
The guy said, there's a suspicious transaction going on at Chicago, and are you currently at Chicago right now?
He wasn't in Chicago. He was visiting his family here at home. The scammer then told him to verify his identity and knew enough basic information about him to sound credible.
He just got all my name, rank in the military, and also my home address all correctly. And I just believed that guy.
Information likely gleaned from public records. The thieves even spoofed a phone number that looked nearly identical to the credit union's. The thieves convinced the 25-year-old to click a link texted to him and reset his bank password.
Starting at that point, I pretty much got no control of my bank account.
They drained his savings and checking accounts, about $7,000, and even opened up a $6,500 loan in his name. And then the line went dead. Cybersecurity expert Crane Hassold says scammers try to catch victims off guard.
A lot of the scams that are out there are simply trying to get people to not pay attention to what's actually going on, trying to get them to make decisions very quickly.
Hassold says the best way to avoid being a victim is to slow down and independently verify with your bank before you engage.
It's really difficult for people to sort of stop and think in the moment when those requests are coming in, because we are anxious or fearful that something is actually wrong with our account, and that's essentially what these scammers are hoping will actually happen.
Now, thankfully, his credit union investigated and they reimbursed him for his loss. But experts say he did everything right by reporting the fraud immediately so the bank could actually reverse some of the money transfers. Often people are too embarrassed to report the fraud right away, and that could cost them greatly. And we hear about that a lot, where people are embarrassed. They don't want to tell their family members. They don't want to even tell the bank. And every second that goes by, it's harder and harder to get that money back. And he was with a credit union, which can sometimes be easier to deal with. But some of these big banks, they're not going to just give you your money back because they feel sorry for you.
Well, no, in my case, I actually had to close my account because they said if it happened again, they weren't going to reimburse me the second time. So you have to stay up on all of that.
Yeah, and I remember over the holidays, my husband got a text that said someone's using your credit card, and we both kind of panicked because that's the natural reaction. And then I looked at it and I said, wait, call the bank and independently verify this. And sure enough, it was a spam text.
Wow.
And I'm the consumer reporter, and I almost fell for it.
I know.
So it's not just happening to people who are not savvy.
No.
It can happen to anybody, like
absolutely.
you.
Yes.
We know you're savvy.
And it's really fun when it happens, Kristine. Thank you.
It can take years to undo.
Yeah.
Thank you.